coming at you live from the 93.7 The Ticket studio. This is Choppin' It Up with Chubb, the soulful way, introducing you to some of the best local restaurants across Lincoln. Powered by Nebraska Knockerball, HealthLink, and Coalition Restoration. Here's your host, Chef Manuel Chubb Hurd.
What's happening, Diggets and Diggeteers? Welcome to Chopping It Up with Chubb, the soulful way, on 93.7 The Ticket. Text in the show at Sartor Heyman Jewelers text line 402-464-5865 and the live video stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Allo Cable channel 961. Our first segment is sponsored by Nebraska Knockerball LLC, is a premier party destination that specializes in hosting a variety of fun and engaging events. Whether you're planning a birthday party, corporate event, team outing, or company team bonding building event, we provide a unique and entertaining atmosphere. Their services also extend to employee appreciation events, ensuring that your team feels valued and celebrated with a focus of fun and teamwork. We create memorable experiences for a group of all sizes. Unleash your inner warrior and let the good times roll at Nebraska Knockerball. What's up, folks? This is your boy Chubb here, and this is our segment of Backyard Barbecuers, and we got a special guest in the house today. This guy has been around the world. He has cooked several things. Some of the things I choose not to eat, but maybe I will one day. He probably convinced me like he does most things. Y'all, welcome to the show, Brian Bird Dog Grove. Brian, what's happening, man?
Living the dream, brother.
Awesome. How's life treating you today?
Life is good.
Good deal, man. Tell me where you're from, bro.
I grew up here in Lincoln, moved up here in the 80s, went in the military for quite a few years, moved back. It was a great place to raise my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Got 4 beautiful daughters. We live down in Beatrice now, but kind of sticking to the southeast Nebraska.
So before you came to Lincoln, where was you born at? Where was you?
I was actually born down in Arlington, Texas.
Oh, okay. Texas.
So yeah, Texas got a different barbecue down there, but
mine is better.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember down there, but I remember yours.
All right. Well, so how old was you when you went to the military?
I was straight out of high school.
Okay.
Went in the military right away. Did 6 years off the bat, and then like I said, great place to raise my kids. I had one daughter already 2 years old. Got out of the military, one on the way. It's a great place to raise my kids.
Around now, was you ever like stationed overseas or anything?
Yeah, I was in during the Gulf War. Did several tours over in the Middle East. Stationed over in Korea for a while. Been all over the world. I'm all over Europe, all over Asia, doing Air Force stuff and
Now,
working on F-16s.
Is that what intrigued your eating habits, or did you eat
I
stuff?
can tell you, I didn't really do much. I did no cooking at all when I was younger. Even in the military, I didn't do much cooking. When I got out, just reminiscing some of the flavors and some of the spices and some of the stuff that I learned over in the Middle East, in Europe and Asia, whatever, just the different blends they do and different spices and whatever. Everybody's palate's different.
Mhm.
But you learning what I've learned overseas and whatever, even in the States is a melting pot.
Mhm.
They kind of get a hodgepodge of everything together, and they'll mix Asian with Mediterranean, and sometimes that'll blow your mind.
Well, so when you was overseas, where was some of the best places that you've ate, like different
Gosh.
foods?
Man, I'll tell you, I was over in Korea for a year. I love the Asian blends.
Mhm.
Korea was a great place because you can do spicy, you can do mild, you can do regular. A lot of their foods are different, kind of like what you segued into.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are a little skittish about different foods and varieties, but if you hadn't tried it, you got to try it. You got to learn to just at least try it once.
And what kind of stuff did they have out there?
Oh gosh, there's like over there I learned bulgogi. So bulgogi is basically a thin sliced beef that's been marinated in some Korean spices.
Okay.
They'll do it with rice and some kimchi. It's amazing. We do it at home now all the time, but I don't use beef. I use deer meat.
Okay.
I'll slice that thin. I'll marinate it in the Korean spices for bulgogi. Same, same process, same everything. It's amazing. They don't even realize what they're eating.
Well, I know sometimes you send me pictures and like I'll see videos on Facebook and it- I, I had deer one time. I'll explain that to you and
Yeah.
it kind of turned me off, man. So you sent it to me and I was like, man, that looks really good, but I just can't see myself eating it. But some of the stuff you cook, man, looks really good.
It's all how you prepare it. It's all the spices that you put into it. It doesn't matter. I don't care if it's deer meat, it could be chicken, it could be beef, it could be pork. It's how you flavor it
Mhm.
and what you put into it. Uh, your seasoning and spices. People, even when we do chicken at home, people come to our house or whatever, and they'll all season whatever up on the grill, on the pit, on the Blackstone, whatever. People don't realize the until they get there and they actually try it.
Mhm.
Like some people don't like Asian food.
Mhm.
They don't like the spices, or they don't like Mexican spices. But the thing is though, if they don't ever try it, then they're not going to learn.
Mhm.
You learn your palate. I mean, just because you have this certain palate, you still have to understand and be adventurous. Go out there and learn it and understand it. It'll knock your socks off.
There's just some things, man, that just gross me out before I could do it. Like you guys was talking about, what was it, a year ago, 2 years ago, the correct me if I'm wrong, the balut.
Balut.
Balut. Is that what it
Oh,
is?
the balut.
Explain to the
So
audience
the
what that is.
balut, I learned this with the people the friends that we've learned and the travels that I've done over the past 10 years in the group that I'm in. Uh, uh, we became very close with a lot of Filipino
Mhm.
brothers from all over the country. Um, the first time I tried balut was actually in Illinois. And so balut is a 7-day embryoized duck egg. So it's got a baby duck in it. It's a boiled egg, but it's got you're grossing out right now. I can see your face. But so it's got the 7-day old embryoized duck egg. But when you peel it, it's a boiled egg. It's just got a different texture, but the flavor is just like a boiled egg. If you can just get just if you crack this thing with your eyes closed and a little salt and pepper, a little hot sauce on it, and with your eyes closed and you ate it, you would think it's just a boiled egg.
Well, I mean, can you hear the bones crunch?
There ain't no bones in it. It's just a baby duck.
Okay, so when you guys did it, I thought I seen like some juice or something.
Oh yeah. So when you crack the top of the egg, you crack the top of the egg, and this is kind of funny because I learned this from some of the Filipinos family out of Chicago. When you crack the top of the egg, you actually suck the juice off the top of the egg, and then you crack the rest of it, salt, pepper. If you want to put a little hot sauce on it, then you kind of go after town at that. Uh, I've introduced this to some of the people that I hunt with and everything, and it's kind of funny because they saw me and one of my brothers that I hunt with all the time. We cracked that egg open, and Andy just loved it. We cracked that thing open, and the two people that we were with are like, "Yep, nope, nope, not doing it."
Mm.
But I'm like, until you actually try it, it's like I mean, people hear the word kimchi.
I love kimchi.
But here's the thing is though, Manny, people get freaked out about kimchi because they think it's that if you can get that, if yeah, it doesn't. I mean, if you stick your nose in it, I mean, it's not the best smell in the world. But if you've had true German sauerkraut,
Mhm.
it's got the same smell.
Mhm.
It's just with Asian spices. Sauerkraut is the same thing with what they do in Korea with their kimchi. It's fermented cabbage, but they just put different Asian spices in it, fish sauce or whatever. When you try it though, it's amazing. But I try to tell people if you can get like kimchi, for example, if you can get the kimchi from the fork to your mouth, don't smell it. Just get the fork to your mouth and just taste it. Granted, your nose is one of your greatest senses in the world, especially with eating food. But once you try the flavor of it, it's amazing. I love it.
I love it. Now, is that something you make?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And what are the main ingredients in that?
So with the kimchi, it's fish sauce, sugar. I use a little bit of ponzu. I do a lot of some kind of radish.
Okay.
do some carrots with it. Um, Usually it's some like Napa cabbage, or you can use bok choy,
Bok choy. Okay, that's what I was
stuff
going to
like
ask.
that. Rub it down real good because you make it kind of into a paste,
Mhm.
and then you rub down the leaves and everything. You let it sit and ferment.
How
Uh,
long? How long what's the process on
it
that?
depends if you're doing like there's two types. There's a summer kimchi,
Mhm.
there's a winter kimchi. Summer kimchi, you start out, they used to put it in clay pots and bury it. Winter kimchi, they put it on the roof and they kind of let the sun kind of ferment it. But usually if I put it into a quart jar, it usually takes about 4 weeks, 5 weeks,
Okay.
and then you dip into it and it just the flavor, it's got that the sourness like sauerkraut,
Mhm.
but it's got that tang like a little bit of a fermented tang. But then they use a lot of gochujang. Gochujang is a fermented bean paste.
Okay.
They use peppers and stuff like in the gochujang. Uh, it kind of kicks the notch up a little bit when it comes to the spiciness level.
Mhm.
Um, you don't even have to use cabbage though. I've had cucumber kimchi. I've had seaweed kimchi. Uh, you can use a lot of stuff in different types of kimchi,
Okay.
but it's kind of different.
Right on. Well, shoot, man, let's break it down and get down to the nitty gritty barbecuing. So you have how many barbecue grills you have at home?
I've got my I've got my brick fire pit.
Now, did you make that?
No, it was when we moved down to Beatrice, the brick fire pit was there. I did some conversions to it
Mhm.
to make it more suitable to what I need to do. I've got my smoker. I was never really a big fan of propane.
I mean,
I'm not a propane guy, but my smoker is propane. And then I've got a regular grill that is I can do wood, charcoal, whatever. Uh, uh, and then I've got my Blackstone.
okay.
I've got my flat Blackstone. It's got the air fryer underneath of it and all that. Um, Honestly, it depends on what I'm cooking. Depends on what I'm doing for dinner, who's coming over. Uh, do I want to go slow and low? Do I want to do something quick and easy? It just depends on it depends on my mood.
Mhm.
I mean, you know how it is.
Yeah.
You could, if you want something quick and easy, you just bang, 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 done. Flavor's good. If you want something low and slow, it'll tang your taste buds like no other. So it just depends on what your mood is.
Well, I like that open pit, man. That brick. That's you cooked some. What did you cook out on there like about 2 weeks ago? You sent me some pictures. Was it
Uh,
some Indian food?
Yeah, so what I've done is like with chicken, like chicken thigh, like boneless chicken
Hmm.
thighs, or I've even done like deer steaks, stuff like that. I start out with like a usually like a uh different like Asian spices. I'll use like coconut milk and I'll marinate it and soak it for a while. And then I'll throw it on the grill. Um And then, like, what I try to do is when I'm cooking the meat, I try to if I'm doing veggies with it, I try to spice my vegetables similar to what I'm doing my meat with.
Hmm.
Because if you don't, then it throws your taste buds off.
Hmm.
Uh, when you do that, it's like I mean, it keeps your palate the same. But yeah, when we did that, it was I'm pretty sure it was chicken thighs, but it was just marinated in some Indian Middle Eastern spices. I go and buy just different spices,
Hmm.
and just kind of go from there. So
Yeah, I bet you chicken's good to cook on that thing.
it's yeah, it's and the thing is though, like you've done this for way longer than I have, but I've learned like when you're cooking that, I've learned that it doesn't matter if you're doing chicken, beef, whatever, when you're cooking it, you got to be depending on what your end goal is going to be is on how you cook it,
Hmm.
like the time wise, or if you want to just braise it, like you want to throw it on the grill real quick and get some good smoke, and then braise it in the kitchen later.
Hmm.
It all depends. I mean, how much time frame you have.
Yeah. So you cook a lot of deer.
Yeah.
So do you have like 80 freezers? Just talk with
No,
deer meat, man. Because I mean, you
I
cook.
got it. We have a freezer in our garage that there three adults could. It's a stand up freezer. Three adults can get in my freezer and be
Dang.
comfortable. But it's kind of funny when I got married and everything. She was never Brittany was never really uh, into any type of wild game,
Mhm.
but I have different levels of my freezer. I've got my fish, and we don't buy fish at the store. We go fishing. I got buddies all over the state, everywhere that we'll go fishing or whatever.
Okay.
We get salmon from a buddy of ours. His brother owns a taxidermy shop. He lives in Homer, Colorado. I get my salmon from him. But
Now, does
I
he
get
go to Alaska and get it, or
Yeah,
where's
he actually lives up in Homer, Alaska, and then Phil sends us uh, sockeye king
okay.
salmon, and then sends it down to us. We sell it, and then we'll buy some from him,
Mhm.
and then we'll do like my next level is usually my chicken. Um, we we usually buy our chicken from the store because I mean chicken's chicken to me.
Mhm.
Uh, then I don't eat a lot of beef. Uh, I I'll eat beef every now and then, but usually if I shoot 4 or 5 deer, or shoot any kind of other venison, that's usually my red meat for the year. I have a buddy of ours that raises hogs out in West Lincoln.
Okay.
We get our hogs butchered from him. He raises the hogs. We butcher them out at Unadilla MK Meats. But it when you're staying local, and when I mean even outside the deer meat, it when you get your meat from local, you know what it is. I can grab if you go to your local butcher shop, either here in town or even in the surrounding areas. If you lay out a piece like a flat iron steak,
Mhm.
and then you buy a flat iron steak from a local big grocery store, you lay those together, you can tell by just the color and the texture. You can see a huge difference,
Mhm.
and it makes a big difference if you just try to keep it local.
You know, I always thought that, like, just growing up, always been a cook, man. But I mean, I always wanted to get the reddest steak. But they say you want to get like the darkest one because the red is just all that stuff that they use just to dye
It's
it
all the nitrates, and it's all
or
the
whatever.
nitrates and the liquids. Like it's no difference. Like if you go to the store during in March for St. Patty's,
Mhm.
they usually put out like your corned beef. Um, you got to know your cut when it comes to the pre-marinated corned beef, but also look at the dyes they put in there.
Mhm.
It'll blow your mind of all the different stuff that. And I mean, is it going to kill you? No,
Mhm.
but the flavor profile can change, the spices can change. It just depends on what you're. I mean, it depends on what you want to do.
Right. All right, folks, we're going to pay these bills and we'll be right back after these messages.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals in everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com. Follow the Huskers to the City of Angels when Nebraska plays at USC in November. Book your official Nebraska alumni travel package at huskerfantravel.com. Choose from 2 or 3 night options that include a downtown LA hotel, exclusive welcome event, game day transportation, and the official Husker Huddle pregame party. Add on game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at USC. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at huskerfantravel.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Truck Month is back. We have absolutely gigantic savings right now at Koppel. They are offering $12,500 off on select new pickups. That is not a mistake. You heard right. $12,500 off list price right now on select new pickups. Those discounted units, though, will not last long. These are all manager specials. You have to come in now, so hurry in down 144th Street or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Stock number G356093 must trade.
Your child was embarrassed when you arrived at their basketball game. 75% of parents or guardians report current alcohol use. Drinking alcohol can cause harm to children and loved ones. By drinking less, your child will be excited to see you at their basketball game. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
and electrical.
For 15 years, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping has been helping Lincoln become healthier, happier, and more fit through our proven combination of kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching. And to celebrate 15 years of success, we're offering you 50% off our next 10-week challenge beginning September 14th. That's 10 weeks of fun group fitness classes and individualized coaching for half off. And at the end of the 10 weeks, someone's walking away with $1,000 for the best transformation. Come check it out. What do you have to lose? Click on the banner at theticketfm.com to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill or 70th and Vine. And check us out online at fxblincoln.com.
It's the greatest time of the year again. Kickoff is here and football is officially back. Over 1 million fans across 33 states got in the game last year by making picks on Underdog, and this year you can too. Making picks on Underdog is straightforward and signing up is even easier. Just head over to Underdog's simple-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com and sign up with promo code EARLY, and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code EARLY to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer. Must be 19 plus in Nebraska and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Looking for a place to relax and unwind after a busy day? Cigars Lounge at 8th and Q in the Haymarket is the perfect place to enjoy good company, a cocktail, and of course a cigar. Visit Cigars Lounge on Tuesdays for Top Shelf Tuesday and enjoy 50% off select spirits. Cigars Lounge offers Perdomo, San Cristobal, Rock Patel, and more of the top stogie brands that you know and love. But that's not all. If you mention this ad between noon and 5 p.m., you'll receive 15% off your entire tab just by mentioning the ticket. Check out Cigars Lounge today at 8th and Q in the Haymarket.
For 15 years, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping has been helping Lincoln become healthier, happier, and more fit through our proven combination of kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching. And to celebrate 15 years of success, we're offering you 50% off our next 10-week challenge beginning September 14th. That's 10 weeks of fun group fitness classes and individualized coaching for half off. And at the end of the 10 weeks, someone's walking away with $1,000 for the best transformation. Come check it out. What do you have to lose? Click on the banner at theticketfm.com to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill or 70th and Vine. And check us out online at fxblincoln.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Back to Chopping It Up with Chubb, the soulful way. With your host, Chef Manuel Chubb Hurd. Powered by Nebraska Knockerball, HealthLink, and Coalition Restoration. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Chopping It Up with Chubb, the soulful way on 93.7 The Ticket. Texting the show at Sartor Heyman Jewelers text line at 402-464-5685 and a live video stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Allo Cable Channel 961. The second segment is sponsored by HealthLink. HealthLink offers one-on-one coaching while personalizing nutrition and wellness plans for structure and simplicity. Nutritious foods such as high-protein entrees, meal replacement snacks, and supplements. If you mention 93.7 the ticket, you'll get 5% discount on your order and $20 off your first month if you start a HealthLink subscription. Okay, this second segment, we're going to get back. We're going to get into some stuff here. We're going to go around the world and talk about different foods. And I want to know about the moose nose. How do you cook that? And is it like moose nose?
When I was stationed up in Alaska, when I went up to Alaska, I've never like prepared it myself.
Mhm.
They basically pickle it. And they just, I don't know how they cut that off or whatever, but it's kind of it's like eating a pickle that's gelatinous. You're laughing right now.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't see myself eating. I mean, you look at a big old moose and that nose, it's like big as heck. And I just can't see somebody grabbing it and just taking a bite out of it. Like,
But
I mean,
the cool thing is, kind of segue off that, is that people don't realize the food they waste. When something's processed, during that time when I was up there, I had one of the best. It was the backstrap off of a moose.
Mhm.
That was amazing. And what they did is they got the femur bone off the moose. They cut it, sliced it, the marrow out of the femur. They basically grilled it to where the marrow was kind of gelatinous and kind of liquidy. They mixed it with like blueberries, and then they poured that on top of the steak.
Mhm.
Best flavor. It was nice, creamy, kind of that blueberry, kind of sweet, tangy flavor. It was amazing.
now how do they cook that?
So they just basically the marrow, it was on a open fire.
Mhm.
They just basically put they cut the bone in half, threw the bone on top of the fire, and just where the marrow gets kind of that liquidy gelatinous look,
Mhm.
they poured that into a cast iron skillet, added wild blueberries, because blueberries are everywhere up there, and then they kind of made it into like I don't want to use the word gravy, but my brain kind of thinks of gravy. There's other words for it. I mean, chef wise, whatever, but I called it gravy.
Mhm.
But once the moose steaks were ready, they just kind of poured that on top of it, and then you eat a little bit of that sauce with that meat. It just changes the flavor profile. People get really scared about eating wild game. When you're doing wild game, the biggest thing is, one, it's how you process it. And I mean, it's no different than going to you drop your wild game off at a butcher. They know how to process it, but if you want to process it yourself, it's not that difficult.
Mhm.
The big thing is you want to get the blood out.
Mhm.
The blood is what makes wild game gamey.
Okay.
It don't matter if you're eating whitetail, mule deer, elk, moose, black bear, whatever. You get that blood out of it, and it's all how you marinate it, how you season it, how you prepare it, how you cook it, the speed, how you cook it. Most wild game, you got to go low and slow, and you just kind of go from there.
So we're gonna get into why you got that name Bird Dog, but you're a hunter, so you hunt all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Now you just said that you got to bleed it. I heard if you shoot it and it's in the wrong spot, that can mess up your meat, whether you bleed it or not. Is that true?
It can if you not with like for example, like whitetails. If you shoot a doe, and if you hit her and she runs, you're not gonna really mess it up too bad. But if you shoot a buck during rut season and he runs, you're gonna get all that testosterone flowing through that deer and that animal. And then I've got to the point where sometimes when you injure it, I got to track it for a while. But when it's ran like that, you get that musky smell. It gets in the meat.
Mhm.
It gets funky.
Yeah, so that must have happened with that deer that I ate.
Because usually with those, I still don't waste it though. If it's something where I can't, if I know that it's got that, if it's ran a little bit and it's got that little bit of that energy smell to it, I'll just grind it up. I'll add a little bit of pork, make it into burger.
Okay.
And it'll just take it doesn't ruin the meat. The meat is good.
What, do you still have that flavor in the burger?
No, because you're adding that pork to it, and then you add other spices to it and kind of hides it.
Okay.
It doesn't ruin the meat at all. The meat's not ruined.
Okay. What questions you have for me?
So I'm kind of curious because so I know that you've been doing Sofa Cocina for how long now?
4 years, but I mean it's the same
Yeah.
stuff that I cooked from years and years back. So same recipes.
What I've kind of learned through my experiences, whether you're cooking chicken, whether you're cooking pork, doesn't matter. The one thing when you're cooking on a grill or you're cooking on a smoker or you're cooking on a pit, doesn't matter.
Mhm.
I've got a very picky way of when I'm saucing the meat while it's cooking. Are you a mop guy or are you a brush guy?
So I used to put sauce on my meat when I first started, and I like to mop. So that way I can just dab it or whatever. Because when you got a brush, yeah, but I like to reach in there and just get it all over the place. What about you?
I've learned like with chicken, if you want that good crispy skin, I'm not a mop guy with the chicken. I like to brush it because I still want that skin to be crispy. When you mop it, sometimes you over mop it, you kind of lose that a little bit, and then you overcook it. So I kind of brush it, just kind of get that flavor on there. Mopping though on pork, I'm a mopping guy on pork. I'll mop a hog all day long. But it just kind of curious of everybody. That's the funny thing is though, everybody kind of has their own profile, their own set routines. But the one thing that I always try to tell people is that when you're doing it though, doesn't matter if you're a professional chef, you own a business, restaurant, food truck, or if you're just a backyard guy, trial and error. It's all trial and error.
Yeah,
100%.
I messed up a lot.
Oh yeah,
and stuff.
Now you still ate it though.
Yeah. But
Hey,
I don't. Yeah.
Hey Chubb, we're finally on radio now that the game's over. So if you want to introduce your guests for all the people that are now listening on radio, just bring them up one more time.
All right, everybody.
This actually know what we're listening to.
Right on. This is Chubb with Sofa Cocina and Chopping It Up with Chubb the Sofa Way. We got a special guest, Brian Bird Dog Grove, in the house, and this guy, he's a cook. He likes to go out and hunt his own food and stuff. Brian, you can tell him a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in South Lincoln. Went to high school at Southeast. Went in the military for a while. Got back and didn't do a lot of hunting. I didn't have the opportunity to do a lot of hunting when I was in the service. Got back and I got called Bird Dog for a reason. You kind of asked me earlier, kind of how the Bird Dog thing started. My dad raised German short hairs and field trialed them when it comes to upland game birds and whatever. My dad traveled all over the Midwest, field trialing pointers on horseback or whatever. I was always the one when my dad would have, this is all the way, I think I was probably 8, 9 years old. My dad would, when the dog goes on point, I was the one crawling through the plum thickets to flush the bird.
Okay.
Kind of stuck with that, how the Bird Dog started. Military, I'm not going to get into that. Kind of segued that whole nickname, different reason. And then it kind of stuck with me for a while and kind of just still there. When it comes to, I love my wild game. I love my deer meat. I love like local raised hogs, local raised beef, local. But the one thing that I have a passion, I bleed for it. I love my pheasant, chuckers, duck hunting, dove. It doesn't, if it flies, it dies. I love it.
DC-47 coming out of the air.
Well, that's too low, dude.
So let me ask you this: you mentioned sockeye.
Yeah.
Do you ever put that on the grill?
Yeah.
On a cedar plank?
No, I hate cedar planks.
Why?
I think the cedar plank kind of throws off the flavor profile of the salmon. Here's the difference: when you buy where my buddy that owns the salmon fishing area up in Homer, Alaska, when he brings us salmon, we get the salmon like flash froze and it's to us within just like 2 days. It's fresh. if you've seen people that have gone around, they've gone up to Alaska and they've done these salmon tours or whatever, they bring it back. Like fresh sockeye salmon fillets should be almost kind of like a pinkish purple color.
Okay.
You go and buy like your salmon from the grocery store. They say it's wild caught, blah, blah, blah. It is like light pink. Flavor profile is different. But when you cook it, you got to have the skin on when you're cooking, either whether it's a fillet or the whole just portions or whatever. Cook it with the skin on, skin down, season it with whatever you want, but get that skin down. If you don't want the skin on there, you just got to be careful on how long you cook it. What I've learned with the salmon, though, when you're cooking that salmon, once the in between the fillets or the individual like fillets or whatever they call it on the salmon, when the oil starts to rise out of the top of the salmon, that grayish oil, take it off the grill. If you overcook salmon, it just doesn't taste good. But you get that salmon off the grill when it's kind of that rare, medium rare, let it sit for a little bit. Those oils go back into the meat and it seasons the meat even better. That's why you see people when they like you see the TV shows when they cut that salmon in half. There's a little bit of that pink in the middle. That's the way you should cook it. But the salmon skin, no, I love getting that salmon skin off, or it's trout skin, and then I'll cut it up in small pieces, throw it in the fryer. It's like fishy potato chips.
Yeah, see, I can't do the skin. It's okay. I'm lying. So I guess again, I'd go back to like the way that you prep it, because I've had sushi and I got, it's the seaweed wrap or whatever. And I thought that's what I was getting. So I got a salmon skin sushi roll.
Sure.
And it was all the skin, and each bite was just a release of fish, like fish smell. And I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But then I tried it again and I didn't taste it, and it was good.
Yeah. Again, I go back to the thing what I was telling you before, is that it's all how you process it. It's all how you prepare it before you throw it on the wherever you're cooking it. It's the preparation before you do that.
Because fish skin, period, I just never really did.
Fish skin, actually, the fish skin is actually the one of the most nutritious things there. It's got all your all the nutrition and everything
and all that.
Exactly.
Right on. All right, folks. We're going to pay some bills, and we'll be right back after these messages. Y'all stay tuned.
For all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com, serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Anderson Ford, Tanner's Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Vinnie Krekak of State Farm Insurance, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments inspections, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186. Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through September 10th is spend $50, get 2 sirloins free, limit of 4. Also, 15% off chocolate. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Rick Heyman from Sauter Heyman Jewelers here. Shop the Wedding Band Expo September 12th through the 14th at Sauter Heyman Jewelers. Choose a wedding band that will stand the test of time or an anniversary band to celebrate time spent together. Only at the Wedding Band Expo. You'll save 20% off all wedding and anniversary bands. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Wedding Band Expo, September 12th through the 14th. All 3 locations. Find the ring of your dreams at the price you'll love. SauterHeyman.com in Lincoln and Grand Island.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Are you tired of the same old entertainment options? How about something that's truly fun for both kids and adults? Nebraska Knockerball, the new place to go for your private and corporate parties. Step inside one of their inflatable spears and let out stress in a healthy form of exercise. Or try the human foosball, foot darts, yard pong, giant beer pong, basketball Connect 4, and much more. Nebraska Knockerball, specializing in physical, engaging fun. Call Nebraska Knockerball today at 402-460-8724 to learn more or book a reservation now.
Serve Nebraska is inviting you to help thank volunteers for their service to our communities. The Step Forward Awards are Nebraska's highest awards for volunteer service, and you can show your appreciation for their hard work by attending the awards luncheon coming up on October 4th in Omaha. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. Made possible by sponsors like Omaha Public Power District. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Your child was embarrassed when you arrived at their basketball game. 75% of parents or guardians report current alcohol use. Drinking alcohol can cause harm to children and loved ones. By drinking less, your child will be excited to see you at their basketball game. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
This week at Fairway Meat Market, there's a 2-day sale for Thursday and Friday, September 5th and 6th only. Enjoy 8-ounce all-natural St. Louis pork spare ribs for $1.99 per pound, all-natural pork butt for $1.68 per pound, USDA choice boneless rump roast for $4.88 per pound, and Fairway's hickory smoked bacon for $4.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Back to Chopping It Up with Chubb, the soulful way, with your host, Chef Manuel Chubb Hurd, powered by Nebraska Knockerball, HealthLink, and Coalition Restoration on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Chopping It Up with Chubb, the soulful way on 93.7 The Ticket. Text in the show at Sauter Heyman Jewelers text line at 402-464-5685 and a live video stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Allo Cable Channel 961. The final segment is presented by Coalition Restoration in Lincoln. Coalition Restoration works with hail damage, commercial, and residential roofing, in addition to those pesky insurance companies. Give them a call today for a free assessment at 402-416-8186 or visit them online at coalitionrestoration.com. And since I just mentioned one of our sponsors, I just want to give a huge shout out to all three of our sponsors, Nebraska Knockerball, HealthLink, and Coalition Restoration. Now, me and our guest here, Brian Bird Dog Grove, we happen to be personal friends with, I'm personal friends with all of them, but one we share is Manuel Walker with Nebraska Knockerball. And I'm going to let Bird Dog tell you a little bit about his story and let you know how fun Nebraska Knockerball is. If you guys have not tried it, you need to get in there and check them out. It's for adults, kids, family. So you guys make sure you get in there and check them out and just get in the ball.
Yeah.
Bird Dog, tell me a little bit about what happened, man. I've seen the video, so I've laughed and I've laughed and I've laughed.
Yeah. So I've known Manny and Rala for a lot of years, through the medical field and everything. I always knew that Manny had a dream, kind of like with what your dream is with Sulfur Cocina. Manny had a dream, and I've kind of, when he got the Knockerball thing going, it was actually, I don't remember the exact time. I think it was prior to that. We had an event in their backyard.
Ponderosa.
At the Ponderosa. We kind of hung out between the Ponderosa and then at our place, we have the Grove Cove. We always hung out together. But at the Ponderosa, at Manny and Ralla's house, there was some things that we did there. We had a blast. We actually had some brothers that I ride with up from Oklahoma that showed up and had a great time in the backyard. The Knockerball thing, that's kind of where it started. We had a blast. It was fun. Even the ladies got involved in it, and they kind of did that whole deal. And I would have just assumed that's kind of where the idea sparked from. And then when Manny started that, it was just kick-started and just blew up from there. But the one thing that I've always really had, just our biggest connection, is cooking. Manny can cook. Holy cow. I've been over to their house. That guy can throw some brisket down. He can throw some ribs on the table. He's got the passion for knockerballs and everything, but his cooking is good. But again, I kind of segue back to what we were talking about earlier. You're learning what everybody, I mean, you cook to your palate, you cook to your nose, but he had a good, keen, he does a great, I mean, some of the stuff that he does is amazing. But we've sat in their backyard hours on end, having libations, eating good food, and just trying something different. Sometimes like whether they came to our house or we went to their house, we might try something different. Even with pork ribs, you throw something down, different spices, different rubs, and it just, that's where with your friends in your backyard and you kind of chill out a little bit. That's where your tester's at.
Yeah.
And that's where you kind of learn from. And that's where I mean, what he did and the love that he did and the growth that he's done right now with the Knockerball thing, it's just out of this world.
Yeah, he's doing big things, man. I'm proud of him.
Hey, Chubb, we had a question on the text line just before you get any further. We don't have too much time left in the show, but I want to get this one in. Bill and Bennett asked, do you ever cook much rabbit or squirrel? I found that if you marinate squirrel, the meat gets real tender.
Okay, so segue squirrel, skin of a squirrel sucks. But when it comes to squirrel, squirrel's a lot more tender than rabbit. If you do your squirrel and if you want to soak it and you want to marinate it, I don't care what your spices are, but if you soak it and marinate it, when you got to cook squirrel for a long period of time. Rabbit, you can cook rabbit a little bit quicker and it can still be pretty tender. Squirrel, I would consider that like dark meat chicken, but a little bit more stringy texture. It's a little bit more, it's a little tougher. So you got to take your time with it.
No, I get both of those.
But if you like with the squirrel or a rattlesnake, that's something's a little bit tougher. If you do it right, granted the texture might be a little different than if people think of like dark meat chicken or whatever. But if you do it right, I can throw some dark meat squirrel down that's shredded. I can throw down some dark meat chicken down, some thighs or legs. I guarantee you ain't gonna know the difference.
Really?
No,
That's interesting.
You won't know the difference. It's just experience, and you got to learn how to do it.
Okay, because I know some people like if they know it's squirrel, that it's just not going to taste.
Oh, I don't. Chubb knows well enough. You come to my house, you come to the Grove Cove. I ain't gonna tell you what I'm cooking. Just trust.
Just know it's edible.
Trust in the chef, right, Chubb?
Well, yeah. My buddy, we went to a work barbecue, and he brought some bacon wrapped dove.
Whoa!
And I thought it was like bacon wrapped like steak, and so I'm tearing it up. And I was like, "That was good. What was it?" He's like, "Bacon wrapped dove," and I was like, "Dove, like a pigeon."
And
he
That
said,
was a really good impression. That's
yeah,
pretty good.
yeah. I was like, like that and stuff. And he's like, "Yeah," and I immediately stopped. We got another question over there.
No, I was just saying we only got like a minute left. So,
honestly, when it comes to when you're cooking the wild game and stuff like that, you know what you're doing. Know how to process it again, and know how to take care of it and handle it. Take care of doesn't matter what it is. It could be a wild bird. It could be when I say venison, people get very confused. When I say venison, Chubb, what do you think of when I say venison?
I'll think of a deer.
No. So actually, venison is considered to be deer, elk, moose. People get very confused about that. Venison is a large game, wild game. So that's the one misconception of it when they say venison. But it's all how you handle it, how you process it. You give it a little bit of love, and you take care of it, and you give it your own character, and you can kill it every time.
Well, man, we're about to run out of time. Do you want to give any shout outs to anybody?
With again, going back to Manny, I didn't actually realize until I came in here that Knockerballs, they pretty much support all this and everything. With what he's doing and the growth that he's doing, I've been over to their place off of Cornhusker Highway. It actually blows my mind when I walked in there. I thought it was just like human-sized dartboards or whatever. He is doing so much other stuff. I mean, the creativity that he's doing blows my mind. I throw it out to Zandermy, Taxidermy. I've known Rob and his brother lives in Alaska. Zandermy Taxidermy helped him do a lot of stuff when it comes to taxidermy. I've hunted with him quite a bit. And shout out to you, Manny, dude. You've killed this since day one. Since I remember when you were a wee pup.
Yeah,
but you've grown into entrepreneur.
I appreciate you, brother. Well, y'all, this is Chubb, and I just want you guys to stop by the restaurant at 6105 Havelock Avenue. And remember, here at Sofa Cocina, food so good, everybody feels the soul. You dig?
NEPCO is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEPCO offers great pay, medical